Stephen Kearney leading the haka. Back in the Kiwi side. Seemed his international career was over at the back end of last season. He gets the call up tonight. Promoted to the starting side, of course, with Wiki sidelined because of suspension. The man in charge, Sydney policeman, Sean Hampstead. So Darren Lockyer will get us underway here in the ANZAC test. The Kangaroos defending the southern end of Energy Australia. And the test match is underway, and straight away a mistake at the back by Vangana. Late call, but the right call.
Confusion here for Nigel Wagner. Jason Kalis looking to play it with the foot. Nigel looking to grab it with his hands. Confusion max. Not the best way to start the test match.
Interesting story in this morning Sydney Morning Herald. Jaron McCracken, former Kiwi, making reference to what is so integral to tonight's success, and that's about communication. That there was evidence of a lack of communication.
So the Aussies with the first opportunity here tonight in Newcastle, 18 metres out from the Kiwi goal line. Webke, the leader of the pack, is put away.
And expect him to lead many of these charges tonight.
Speaking of charges, Steve Price goes to ground. They come the right side. Gower with the cut-out ball across to Timmins. And the Kangaroos now 8 metres out. On the far side of Energy Australia, they swing it back the left side. Lockyer goes to ground. And now the last has been signalled by Hampstead. Gower, chip over the top. He was taken out. There's the chase. And it was a non-event. Hampstead says play on, we'll come back for a tap restart.
And this is a kick on the end of it from Gower. It's just a little bit too big as Kalis gives him a bit of a don't argue, and he battens off. But evident already, the width of this Australian attacking machine. No Andrew Johns, but Gower, he's got a pass on him like a bullet.
But also a good response by the Kiwi defensive line, particularly Kidwell, getting off the line, getting up there, locking down Lockyer. And Nathan Kalis just giving a little reminder and some good signs early on.
First penalty of the game going to the Kiwis. They'll take a quick tap. Away they go. The NZers straight away. Robbie Paul looking for runners. He finds one in the form of Nathan Kalis. And the captain, right in front of our commentary position, plays it back for Paul. Now going forward, David Kidwell, is it?
David Kidwell looking for a trifecta this weekend, making a debut tonight. 100 NRL games, another error.
Another error it is. So, not exactly what the New Zealanders wanted. Falmawina rather disappointed with what happened there. And a special night, of course, it is for the people of Newcastle. The test match here coming to town and sampling the atmosphere down on the sideline, Stephen McIver.
Thank you, Costa. Beautiful night for football. There is a light breeze running left to right on the screen as we see it. But boy, interesting start. One error apiece and just an early settling down period. What I'm looking for is an incredibly good start by the Kiwis. And Robbie Paul already shown what he's about.
And speak of the devil, he affects the tackle on the eastern side of the ground. Here's Tahu centralising play, and he gets barreled. And the player is down. He's not moving too much. It looks to be Nathan Kalis on the deck. He's down grimacing. Just 4 minutes gone to the test match. He's not going too far at all. The Kangaroos crossing halfway. Hampstead says play on. Big Jerry's warming up on the sideline. Here's the last. Gower puts boot to ball between fullback and winger. Mally's back there. Vangana, of course, in the fullback role tonight. And he is put away. 11 metres out from his own line.
Set of six in defence for the Kiwis there. We see the centres pushing up hard. First it was Torpy, Fatuera on the side. I like that balance in the centres combination. One real attacking weapon in Torpy and the other hard man in Fatuera. Both players setting the sideline as we see the hit and the Kalis brothers come together. And one of them comes off second best.
But a word of caution on the defensive line when you're up so fast. Be very aware of what's on the outside of the flag. A pass over top could find you exposed. And certainly looking for a little bit more.
Good charge down by the Kangaroos. Steve Price doing what he does best. On the last it was.
Guys, just noting backline play. Joey Nullivar looks a little bit slow. Looks like he may have taken a tiny hit.
Hasn't taken a hit like this man has. Bit of blood coming out of the mouth there. Jerry Siu gets his marching orders. Boy, he'll be keen to get on the field, having had his 30th birthday this week. Yes, Mr. Kalis. Well, that's a wobbly bird on that. Is a shame.
That is a shocking blow. He's been really tortured by injury and suspension as far as the national side's been concerned. An early casualty, Nathan Kalis off, and the Kiwis going backwards at a great rate of knots. Now zipping away, Balmawina got rid of the ball as well. He's a big 5'8", but the New Zealanders, they just keep on coming.
But it's so important that you control the emotion. Already we're seeing some early signs of it. And I think it's important here that also Robbie Paul, when awarded the penalty, that you do find some composure. Sometimes it's all good when the timing's on, that it is a quick tap and a restart and go for it. But sometimes about just settle down, get into the game.
Well, that kick wasn't very fluent, certainly off the boot of Thomas Luluwai. Did the job as it turned out. Here is Jason Kalis playing his first game in a month, can you believe it, called up to the test match. Certainly it'll be interesting to see how he fares tonight, how much game time as the Kiwis come away. Here's Kidwell for the line. Happy birthday, my friend. What a start for the NZers. Sean Hampstead blows the whistle. The numbers are in the frame. 4-0. The Kiwis out of the blocks nice and quick.
Well, the speed of the Australian line, well, it was their worst enemy this time as they run the ball at the line with players in support. And, well, David Kidwell, who would have backed him to score the first try in this test match, supporting well. Had the fullback going the wrong way in Minicello, and from here it was straight out for the line. Comes up, puts it down, puts the ball in the air. Brilliant try.
And the most important player on the field is the one with the ball in the hand there. Webke there just allowing Thomas Luluwai just to get on the outside. And Kidwell just finishes with a good support play. We talk about the trifecta. Test match tonight. Looking to back up for the Storm. Will play his 100th NRL game, and as Costa alluded to, his birthday celebration. A good start.
A good start, but you heard it from Daniel Anderson. Where would this guy pop up? He said it in the pre-match. He said he's great to running off the big guys. He was talking about his big-name players as he only just gets a bit of the ball on the big hang 10. But Kidwell, number 19, you beauty.
And he's had a great return. Here's a player that not that long ago was in the Northern Hemisphere playing for Warrington. Now comes back via a number of NRL football clubs, and now the Storm, one of their key players.
An early setback for Wayne Bennett and the Kangaroos. Balmawina converts the Kidwell try. It's New Zealand at 6-0.
That's the final touch. Beautiful run by Luluwai.
Well, it's always a little man on big man. You know who you're going to back when it's about getting on the outside. Get on that shoulder, and you got half a chance when you get in behind that defensive line.
Kidwell getting across the stripe despite the efforts of Nathan Hindmarsh. Back underway, a high restart from the Kangaroos. So New Zealand now with their tails up. They were very much friendless in betting coming into this one, but so far so good.
Well, there's been some great play by the Australian side. They've been certainly very offensive in their D. They've been able to force them backwards, but there's a sense that they just haven't gone on with it. The Kiwis have come up with a couple of blunders. We've seen the drop off, the knock on right from the outset. A ball that was a bit ordinary on the kick out, looking for touch.
But they've
certainly come over the post.
The speed of this line for Australia is exceptional, Peter.
It was well read by the defence, and another knock-on coming the way of Balmawina, and it's been compounded by the flop. Big Jerry just too involved there, overzealous in defence, and Sean Hampstead right before his very eyes.
Well, it's one thing being quick off the defensive line, but it's about being technically competent and being able to execute spot on.
Here's Stephen Price, himself returning to the national side. Hasn't played since '99 in the green and gold. Big moment, of course, tonight with his brother-in-law, also in the Australian side in the form of Brent Tate. Here's Webke with a fumble and a knock-on. Went forward, says Hampstead. And the Kangaroos looking rather rusty.
Well, and a big confidence boost for the Kiwi defensive line as well. Just saw pictures there with Thomas Luluwai slapping each other on the back. They've been able to withstand the pressure, and they now get an opportunity to come out of their quarter.
That's the sort of mistake that will really make Shane Webke very unhappy. He said pre-game, forget about stats, it's all about quality, and that's not the sort of quality he'll want to play through 80 minutes.
Vainikolo coming in to dummy half to help out. He's a big unit, isn't he? Vangana. They spread it across now to Balmawina. This time he manages to secure possession.
Speaking of Ruben Wiki pre-match about Leslie Vainicolo, not quite sure whether you're speaking in jest, but he suggested that if they put the ball in the air, he's not quite sure if Leslie will get off the ground. He is big.
Arguably the biggest wing combination in Test match history. Malley and Big Leslie, 230 kilos of prime Kiwi beef, you could say that. Here's Minicello at the back for the Kangaroos. Will they smash him? Will they circle him? And he gets knocked over on the 20-metre line.
Big Joe Nalabau showing he's got a boot as well, putting the ball down the right-hand side.
Well, the pleasing aspect in that play is being able to redeem themselves, recover from some. It was an ordinary pass out of the acting half, went to ground. Joe Nalabau wasn't the intended recipient, eventually put it to boot, but they've been able to recover well. Clinton hits it up and is met well by big Tony Pulutua.
He shows no fear, this lad from Penrith, homegrown junior, went on the Kangaroo tour last season as Webke, the senior statesman of the side, with a great offload. Some second phase play now from the Kangaroos. Gower to Minicello. Play on's the call. The pass looked to go forward. Minicello for the line. He'll do it himself. Up they go in Newcastle. A sizzling Kangaroo try, and the Aussies on the board. 6 plays forward, 11 gone.
They caught them short on the right-hand side here, and it was a great offload by Webke. Have a look at this pass. Beautiful, going to ground, flicking it up, and that's the money ball. And from here, Lockyer shifts the ball. Minicello's on the end of it. They hang off him. They're trying to call the numbers over. And Minicello, will he run the whole way? That pass, well, it's got me. I saw it here. It was right on line. Looked a little bit dusty. He didn't call it. Here, we thought he'd bombed the try. He had Lockyer on the inside, looking to go outside with players all over. And Vagana just hanging off. Good try, Minicello.
Well, just moments before that, we were referring to Joel Clinton. Then we look to his mentor. His mentor is Shane Webke. And what a way to instruct your young pupil to bring him on. Great offload. The ball forward was certainly marginal, but perhaps a little disappointed. Nigel Vagana up the back, caught in no man's land, not quite sure whether he was going to take Minicello or whether he was going to look to the inside. He needed to take someone. In the end, he got no one.
The battle of the custodians favouring the count. Try, of course, coming thanks to a rather dubious pass. Hampstead perhaps not in the best position to adjudicate, but he didn't seem to have a problem with it.
I take nothing away from the Webke offload. 3 in the tackle, going to ground.
It was 5-star. The kick is waved away. An encouraging sign for Wayne Bennett. The Kiwis leading by 2.
But it's all about the speed of being able to react and respond defensively to an offensive line. 3 committed to the tackle to take Shane Webke, knowing that there was going to be something left on the outside.
And also, you said it, the speed of this game. It's been blistering. There's been some errors. The ball's been shifted. Exactly how Australia want to play this game, to tire the New Zealand team out.
Right, Phil, stay on the kicker.
Back underway off the boot of Balmawina. Gower takes it on the fall, and here's Clinton.
And looking to repeat what's just been outlined there by his mentor, Shane Webke.
Speak of the big man, there he goes. Still a country mile between him and number 2 in the world as far as prop forwards are concerned.
Well, still plenty of minutes left on this. Watch what Joel Clinton's got to offer as well.
He certainly doesn't like making mistakes as Webke, and when he does, he wants to get the ball as quick as he can and to show what he can do.
Lockyer can come up with a mistake. He was trying to do something, looking to promote the football, but he just seemed to maybe lose control of it. Perhaps it hit his thigh. At any rate, New Zealand in possession, and they are 30-odd metres out from the Kangaroo goal line.
And I think luck favoured the Kiwis on that play. Lockyer had numbers on the outside, but they were able to get it through.
Here's Siu, part of the Warriors contingent in the national side. And Lulawai sends the pass back on the inside to Joe Nalabau, and those chunky legs don't carry him too far at all. Lulawai, Balmawina, and now Tony Pulutua. Busting through tackles, left, right and centre. Got it back to Robbie Paul, and that tackle had to be made, and they forced the mistake to boot. Robbie Paul's in Disneyland. Dear, oh dear.
He has got absolutely crunched here. He's laying prone on the ground. It was a great run by Puliatua.
I thought he could have gone himself here rather than looking on the inside pass.
I agree with you. He shaped it up, and watching coming from the blind side, Badiris, and smack.
And let's not forget Robbie Paul recovering from a broken nose as well. So it would have been awfully sensitive in that area.
Well, it was more a body grab, wasn't it? Wasn't a shoulder tackle. You watch him come in with the body. And right there, oh, well, it's more like...
I'd suggest there's a noggin in there as well.
Yes, maybe a little forearm somewhere.
As we watch that, guys, on Robbie Paul, the word from the Kiwi dressing room on Jason Kalis, their other one that's, well, in Disneyland. No decision has been made yet on whether or not he will return to the field. And if you look at speaking about Disneyland, you see the eyes there of Robbie Paul. It's not what they want right now, because he is certainly starting to carve them up a little bit. So Tavita Latu, one would suggest, will, on his test debut, come into the number 9 jersey. Daniel Lance looks reasonably calm, but I think if you're going to lose 2 frontliners, that's not good news for an 80-minute game of footy.
But you've got to take confidence when you put the likes of Tavita Latu. He's an exciting footballer, little green at times, prone to come up with the errors, but there's still a lot of ability in this football, and one that not many will expect to come out of the acting half. He's got the pace. Yeah, he'll fill.
Good signs here also, Peter. The Kiwis, they've played it around the ruck. They've wanted to get some offloads, just one pass off the ruck. And Robbie Paul's been right in that tidy work around there. Puliatua this time. Well, it's fantastic. Wayne Bennett will be a little bit concerned with offloads that close to his ruck.
Like in the feet of Sione Faumuino as well. Every time he takes to the line, he does dent the defensive line. He does get him going backwards. And so much of your assignment in front of you is about getting in behind. The Kiwi team, that they gather in a circle. They know that they've lost or about to lose possibly their second star player. But it only strengthens the resolve. And I'd be very surprised if this guy would be keen to go anywhere.
Guys, can I just suggest the involvement too of one man that's taking over such an important position, and that of course is young Thomas Lulawa in the number 70. He certainly set up that first try, and his involvement, particularly with ball in hand, is a wonder to behold this early in the game.
Well, just watch this. Robbie Paul here is doing a great job of trying to convince him that everything is A-OK.
Well, this was the Kalis, and it was just a straight head clash, brother on brother. And I'm afraid Nathan, well, he's come out of it worse for wear. He's back on the bench now. They're tough, these older guys. You saw Robbie Paul there. He's experienced and he's an old campaigner. He knows how to buy some time. Time is his greatest friend at the moment, as he convinces people to stay. But he'll get a spell on the bench for a little while. Come to his senses, and let's hope he comes back.
And a big moment coming up for Tavita Latu. Robbie Paul getting a warm applause from the Novocastrian crowd here at Energy Australia, and seemingly in the mood for a joke with the trainer.
And notice the bruising under the eyes of Robbie Paul, courtesy of his broken nose, courtesy of Joe Wagner.
It was Big Joe.
Big Joe.
They're
all big up in the Northern Hemisphere now, aren't they?
Especially at Bradford.
Aren't they? Huge. Tavita Latu. But the Kangaroos will be a little disappointed at the moment. They've got some problems in around that centre. Defensively, they've been opened up twice now.
Here's Clinton. So after some delay, we're back underway. 15 gone in the test match. New Zealand, 6-4 leaders, getting the first try of the match, courtesy of David Kidwell, before the Aussies posted a try thanks to Minicello. Here's a penalty to the home side.
Well, I think that's a poor call. When players are grabbing people and ragdolling them around the ground, they're going to pick this player up and drive him back. You wait for the call. Well, here Hampstead start about now, so Hill, well, what can you do?
So the forward battle continues. Clinton getting through a mountain of work.
And this is exactly the game plan that we expected from the Kangaroos. Play the power game up the middle, look for the likes of Clinton and Webke, and then shifting it wide. Clinton's not well on the back of that one.
Look out, here's Lockyer.
Great tackle, Fatuera, try saver.
Fatuera doing a marvellous job as Gower takes it to the line, posing some questions. He's tackled by his Penrith teammate, Joe Nullarbau. Lockyer trying to get away from Siu. Got rid of the ball. Badiris scheming as always. Minicello, the count, up from fullback. Goes to ground. Now the last is coming up. Chant goes up for the Kangaroos. Gower's kick is being picked up by Falmawina. That's a big play. Good play.
Brilliant play. Stuck the left leg out, trapped the ball, and then had to make the play. Otherwise, it was 6 again. He did play at it, scooped it up. Brilliant work. Joel Clinton coming back to his senses, but he too was taking some big punishment in here as the battle continues.
And I'm just looking at the clock, and 17 minutes gone. And the likes of Tony Pulitu and Joe Nullarbor still playing. And you expected to see them on the field a little bit longer with the breaks that we've had so far. Nullarbor hits it up again.
Nullarbor attracting 3 defenders. Now the 5th and final has been signalled by Sean Hampstead.
But the Kangaroos are doing a good job in slowing down in the tackle there.
A bit of pinball coming to the football. And the Kangaroos come up with a mistake on the end of that. Minichello, what was he thinking?
And high fives all around. The Kiwis know they've got a golden opportunity. And this is what we talked about at the top of the show tonight. When you get the opportunities, it's now about what you do with these. They don't come often, but when they do, make them pay.
What about this? Nigel Vagana, he is a smart footballer. He catches it and he gets rid of it again. He realises it wasn't played at and has to kick it again and puts it down the tram track. Minichello comes up with the error, and not an error you don't normally see Minichello make. He too prides himself on being mistake-free, but, well, he just coughed it up to someone on the sideline. Maybe he was passing it to the touchy.
Good rebounding from Nigel. We'll get a start with the Tall Blacks if he keeps that up. Here come the Kiwis. Overlap. Here comes a try in the corner for Big Leslie. They are over.
You stop him if you can, because no one else on that football field's going to stop him. See the sight of the bulldozer coming at you.
Oh, the rubber struck in the corner. You can't stop it. Full load. Here I come.
Well, that was so scary from 20 metres out. You knew it was on. He had one player in front of him, and there was no way in the world De Vere was going to come anywhere near it.
He must have been having nightmares, and it all came courtesy of this mistake from Minichello, and they spread it straight away.
What I'd like to see was Melly. He got into the 5'8" position because he hasn't had much play, just to get a run. Thought there could have been a little bit of a shepherd as the centre, and Torpy comes in and he runs behind him, but he didn't take anyone out of play. And as soon as he got the ball out wide to that man there, some say they've never seen him bigger. Well, you ask that man. He's over. Tahu had no chance really. Big man.
My apologies to De Vere, but Tamana Tahu, he must have been just wondering, what the hell have I got here? All the way from Bradford, Leslie Vainakolo. But what great plays, great setup there by Francis Malley. He ran across the field, he just created havoc, he put him in 2 minds, not sure what was going on. Yes, there was a hint of a shepherd there, but then put it down to this one. Oh my Lord.
Determination. He knew he was going to score that 10 out for sure. He said, no one stops me when I'm this close. Not one-on-one anyway.
Well, he started the English Super League season like a house on fire, grabbing 5 tries, can you believe it, against Wigan, and he started tonight very nicely.
Well, he's just repaid his airfare from England to Australia.
Falmawina from way out on the eastern sideline. About 2 metres in from touch, it's a shocker.
Guys, there is some explanation too for maybe some of the handling errors. It's very, very moist on top of the Energy Australia Stadium, and that will explain maybe some of the early and probably later handling errors.
We must have carried on from the play that Francis Malley did. What he did exceptionally well was to allow or to create a situation that saw Tamana Tahu isolated. He was on his own one-on-one.
So New Zealand almost making a mistake from the restart. They lead by 6 and go so close to the sideline. The man who scored the most recent of the tries, flirting with danger there. The Kiwis doing a little bit more tackling tonight. Not too much in the missed tackle count. Here's See You.
On that occasion, Leslie Vainakolo bring the ball out, ran straight back at Tamana Tahu. Tamana Tahu lined him up and got the better of him that time.
I'm sure I saw him signal to De Vere, can we swap?
Falmawina. And Kalis warming up.
It's no easy on the other side as well. De Vere's got Francis Malley.
Bunganar's got the ball, but perhaps they should have went somewhere else.
Right play, poor execution. He's been targeted in the halves area, so we needed to shift it one more to Nigel to kick the ball. He wasn't that rushed to kick it, but did rush his kick and gave away 40 metres.
Probably an area game that's been disappointing so far has been the general kicking game.
Joel Clinton now goes to ground just outside the red zone. Badiris scouting from dummy half, gives it to Gower. Here come the Kangaroos. Lockyer looking to slice through. 5 metres out.
Good to see Fatuera and Lulaway again defending strong.
An awkward pick up for Gower. A wasted tackle for the Aussies. Badiris sends it out to Bailey, the man they call Bull. And charges like one. 7 metres out from the goal line. Here comes the last for the Kangaroos. Craig Gower at first receiver. Lockyer gets it. Little kick in behind the line. There she goes. Mally's back there to clean up. Will he get out of jail? No way.
Smart play, Lockyer. Players on the outside. Clever left foot. You know he's going to come down the side, Darren Lockyer, with his left foot. It's a perfect place to bring a defensive line up, run at it, and then put it on your outside foot and put it through. Most favourable. Francis Melly doing his best to get out of the in-goal area, but plenty of attention from green in goal.
We see the first drop out for the night, but it was a well-structured play. The lead-up was good. And then when they brought it to the left-hand side to find Lockyer, they had depth, which gave him an opportunity to size up his options, whether or not they were going to run it through or put it to ground.
So more possession coming up for the home side. Craig Gower getting a favourable bounce, and he sends Clinton on a mission upfield. And he succumbs in the tackle of Joe Nullavow. Kidd will also involve. Bailey takes it to the line, gets punished accordingly.
And we see Clinton also resting now with Webke and Crocker taking the field.
Lockyer, one dummy. Doesn't fool the defence though. They put him on the turf here at Energy Australia. Stephen Price, captain of the Bulldogs. He is restrained. No, he's not. He got the ball out the back door. That's play on. Here's Gower. Gower and Crocker in possession. Man with fresh legs. 5 metres out. They work the blind side. Timmins across and out of play.
Out of play, and what a time now to bring on one of the hottest young prospects in the game of rugby league. Very shortly we'll see Sonny Bill Williams take the field, and the timing is right. Good defensive play there, being able to hold them out, keep Timmins out, force them into in touch. So much better to bring someone into the game when you're in a commanding position, when you're sitting in the driving seat, rather than having to defend and at worst conceding a try.
Just a quick update from the damage room, and still assessing Robbie Paul.
Thank you, Stephen. Sonny Bill warming up on the sideline, just waiting for his boarding pass. Robbie Paul, some running repairs on the Bradford playmaker. But an encouraging sign, really, after what had happened in the initial impact, as Kalis looks on. Here's Pulatua looking to bust them again. To beat Alatu. Fires the pass across to Sonny Bill, and welcome to Test football.
He's ready for it, Sonny Bill Williams. Seen him the last few rounds with the Bulldogs. Trying to offload just a little bit too much. It's his natural game. And when he's got players around him, he's exciting. Gets up and chases hard. Good chase. Some heavy damage.
Stephen Kearney. He is no spent force, and he follows it up with some hustling defence.
One thing you got with Stephen Kearney is absolute certainty that he is never, ever going to let you down. One you'd want to be in the trench with, one that you have utmost confidence in.
Now going on a scampering run, Brent Tate would be best advised to stay well clear of Francis Melly. Here's Timmins.
At the moment, guys, I'd suggest that there's a sense of uncertainty amongst the Kangaroo side as they look to regain some composure down the flank.
Gidley, Tahu, that Newcastle combination. Newcastle, they are going to have a party after that try. A night special at Energy Australia.
Well, very fast. This happens really quickly. Have a look at Gidley. I thought Gidley could have passed the ball to Tahu instead of putting it onto the foot. Well, he didn't need to. It was perfect. They go down the short side, it's their right-hand side, and they catch him napping. Not enough players there as they come in, and here it is here. He's got Vainakolo back pedaling. They're going to target him, and he'll take 2 or 3 more steps. Vainakolo, he'll turn his back. That's when I thought the pass should have been thrown, but instead, here, well, he could have passed it, and Tahu, he's got some speed, and then it was Nigel Vagana. He comes in, tries to put him in 2 minds, and Tahu says, well, I'll just take you on the outside then, and gets it too easy.
A sign of class when there's nothing looking. They find a player on the short-hand side, and they find that in Leslie Vainicolo. Gidley takes it to him. And spot on, nice little chip in behind the Newcastle pair. 4-pointer to Manatahu.
You really sense a battle royale developing on that wing tonight between Vainicolo and Tahu, and at the moment the ledger reading 1 apiece.
Well, they all talk about it, not only the battle that's going on sideline, but I think also between the two camps, the two coaches. Both have relied heavily on reinforcing the need to compete. And just when one senses that he's going ahead, the Bear just absolutely nails it down the middle.
13 minutes away from the break. We're locked up at 10 apiece. Big crowd tonight, a healthy crowd, and boy, did they love this. The local boys coming to the fore.
Too much speed on the outside, but it's a great game of football. Plenty of width. Both teams not content to play a regimented game of put it down there and work it out. When the options come, when the passes are on or the little ones are on, let's take it. Kicking behind the line, well, it's not a percentage play. It's got him 6 points.
It really is like two boxers having a go at each other, isn't it? You do one, I'll do one, and away you go. Still no sign of Robbie Paul back, guys. And I pick up what Peter said about uncertainty. There is real uncertainty in this Kangaroo side, and it's being felt by the crowd. They just don't know what to believe here at the moment.
Is that our boxing expert commentator down there?
Whoa, big call there by DJ Halligan.
Well, the Kangaroos, not quite the boxing Kangaroos at the moment, but they're well on their way after a slow start. A long-time world champions getting things back to 10-10 as Price goes to ground.
Costa, I don't know if I can let that one slide. I think the Kiwis won the last outing between these two.
Well, they did, but
let's not suggest that was not a world title fight, because it was. Let's leave it at that. Let's move on.
We talk about consistency, and that is the challenge for the New Zealanders, and I'm sure the rank and file league public throughout the country would acknowledge that. Here comes the last for the Kangaroos. Lockyer had some pressure there, but he got the kick away, and a fine kick at that. Was it a 40-20?
It's going to be very, very close.
Big kick, big pressure on it. And Darren Lockyer, arguably the #1 player in the game, although that is perhaps not the right thing to say in this town.
Well, and the crowd respond. They know exactly the significance of such a play. So often we've seen them in grand finals, we've seen them in big matches that can often signal the changing of a tide.
Well, you talk about the changing of the tide. Sure, it was a great kick and just gets inside the 20, and that's all it has to do. But there was plenty of walkers in the New Zealand pack. This injury toll taking its toll. Joe Nullavow having played all the matches with Kidwell, and they were walkers to that scrum.
So just repeating the news, New Zealand coach Daniel Anderson effectively with just 15 players to play with. Injuries really testing the mettle of the Kiwis tonight. Here's Bailey. 18 metres out from the New Zealand goal line. Badiris back for Gower. And Gower is put away, centre of the ground, right in front of the sticks. 15 out. They come the left side. Lockyer had to reach for the football. Was it played at? No. New Zealand have got it.
And again, we see pressure applied to Lockyer. Get up quick, get in the face. Sonny Bill hits it up there on the 20-metre. But again, and exactly what you want, the piggyback out of the red zone.
Not only the piggyback, but it was a run by Sonny Bill Williams. He just charged straight at the line and gained a quick 10, trying to get up and play the ball quickly. Has given his side, well, a huge breather.
So much of this game by the Australians have been played down in the Kiwi half. The Kiwis now get the opportunity. Half-time is looming. Just over 10 minutes remaining on the clock. A try before half-time by either side will put them in good stead as they look at the back 40. Both know that they're in this game.
Well, this is a run. When you've got a forward pack full of guys like this who just want to charge straight for 10 metres, get up quickly and play the ball, it's so much an easier game for your halves.
But this is where it's hard. Both sides are doing a good job of slowing down around that acting half area. Both sides have been able to control the speed, the tempo of the game as Latu gets out of the acting half, but he's met there by good solid D.
Latu smothered by the Kangaroo defence. Pulatua crosses halfway. Lulawai and he found a runner, but Sonny Bill didn't go too far.
But like the fact that he's varying where he's coming from. He's coming one off the ruck, he's coming too wide.
And the kick from Lulawai was teasing Minicello. Minicello has to make a play at the football. He gets out of the in goal. He launches the counter-attack, and a big play it was.
Minicello, big play. That could have been such a very, very different result. And the play that would have come out of it could have been very different as well.
We'll have a look at the kick. It bounces that close to the in-goal line, and then Minicello, well, was his foot over the line. Love to have a look at that again. And he takes off. Look at Sione Faumuina. He wants to drag him to the sideline there. He's riding him like a jockey. Got his hands and heels. Can't quite get him there.
Timmins, he goes to ground. Latu affecting the tackle. Lockyer takes it to the line, looking for runners. He found Crocker. Crocker's found prime real estate. Here's Tate. Tate loses the ball. The Kiwis have got it. There was no advantage. We'll come back for a scrum.
And Tate had De Beer on the outside, just so unfortunate, unable to pass it out. And Daniel Anderson, he knows.
This call's gone New Zealand's way. We'll get a look at the replay in a minute, but have a look. In the tackle, I believe it was stripped. He's called it, ruled lost in the tackle. I think it was Francis Melly who came over the top. And look at this, Lockyer working some magic. He doesn't go to the first receiver who was intending to get it. It was Bailey, and holds for the second. And the good support player in Crocker, he puts the heels down, and now the D has got to count up. He looks for his players on the outside. There's no one on the inside, and the ball comes to Tate. Now have a look at Francis here. He has a play at that. Yes, I think he does. Rips it out, and New Zealand get the benefit.
Geez, DJ, I'm not quite sure what you're looking at.
I'm not Australian, Peter. I'm a Kiwi.
But I think Bailey was entitled to be disappointed as well. Latu tackled him without the ball, so maybe a penalty should have gone way back there.
He's not a Kiwi, hey? I saw you voting last week.
We've seen him down in Wairoa.
Shopping, taking the kids to school. He's fitted in okay, this bloke. We take anyone. Penalty here to the Kiwis, and ironically, because of a strip.
I hate that rule. I so hate it.
Well, it's been debated vigorously.
Well, what is the point of debate? Just get rid of it. Everybody hates it.
Well, there's a lot of rules we could probably look at, but Hampstead's job is to police it to the best of his ability.
Finally, Thomas Luluai finds a nice touch finder after 3 or 4 pretty ordinary ones. The kicking game so important when you're under pressure.
To the Kiwis now, 30 metres out from the Australian try line, and Kalis spinning around, won't surrender. Good carry.
Good run, that's what you want. Bang it again.
Lulawai. Fantastic test debut it was at the back end of last season. You cast your mind back 12 months as we see a mistake here from the number 7. In the last year he's gone from basically a Bartercard Cup player to an international, but he'd love to come and revisit this play of the ball. Maybe he got a helping hand. The knee perhaps in the way, but he should have done a lot better than that. The Aussies will take it as we count down towards half-time. 6.5 minutes to go before the break, and the scoreboard reads 10 points apiece, 2 tries apiece. Wedke, head strapped up, doesn't faze him though. He crosses the 30. Crocker, bumping out of a tackle.
Hasn't the physical nature of this game been outstanding right from the outset? Kalis, Robbie Paul, it's been good stuff. This is a test match.
And this is the Kangaroos back line in action. Tate plays it back. Here's De Vere.
Great chase by Fatuera. Knew De Vere was going to send to one infield to give them both sides to play the ball from. Went out and stopped him getting there. And Gower, well, the result, slow play the ball, puts a little bit more pressure on the kick, and Craig Gower doesn't quite get the time he needs to pull that one up and goal. And with just on 5 or 5.5 minutes to go, important moment in this test match. Changes the half-time speeches, whether you're up or down in a test match, and points scored either side of the break. So crucial.
And Paul Fatuera, one of the unsung heroes, a guy that certainly found a home and been the benefactor of a team that's found some great success last year, the grand final, and again this year travelling well. There's his teammate Joe Nullarbell. But Paul Fatuera, Probably a little disappointed with Ryan Girdler return to the pack, that he found himself on the bench, but he certainly competed well in 2004.
Stephen Kearney goes to ground, 9 short of halfway. Lulawai gives it to Falmawina. Now the Kiwis making a bust. Into the open space goes Torpy. Torpy goes past Minicello, gets rid of a second defender. Still going. Didn't panic either.
No, but he should have passed it.
Maybe it's still on. Falmawina comes up with a knock on. Or did he? Well, a try has been butchered. Torpy did everything but keep the ball alive.
Brilliant. Sonny Bill Williams and offloading the tackle. And here we needed to cue it up. Luluai on the inside, just overplayed his hand, Clinton Torpy. Sure, the defence put him in 2 minds. Well, and Daniel Anderson, well, we won't repeat what he says. It wasn't Happy Easter, but he should have just passed it on the inside or the outside, done his job and offloaded. And we would have been right in front. Big miss.
But once again, Guy, the man they target is that number 6 and Darren Lockyer, and they're succeeding at that.
Still another half to go, of course.
Disappointing, though, that when an opportunity so close to half-time, it would have just set the tone for the second 40. Webke hits it up on the 20.
So much for the cakewalk, Peter. The Kiwis really tonight, no one wanted to have a bar of them as far as the punters were concerned, but a great test match unfolding.
One of the best so far, and it's always one of absolute arrogance. You ask any one of these players down here.
Keep them down, right?
Oh, well, I'd love to have a look at this again. He's picked Tavita Latu up for a slap on the face.
Wow.
Oh, he was just checking his mascara. Maybe he did make contact with the head. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Reckless, but fair dinkum. You like that? Fair dinkum? You like that, DJ?
I think he died. Starting to talk the lingo, Ro. The Kangaroos looking to take the lead for the first time. Minicello. And now crabbing back across field. Timmins gives it to Hindmarsh. Timmins, the runaround. He has to come back. Good smothering tackle, this time from Nullarbor. Webke says, I'll have another dig. He bounces out of the tackle. Got rid of Kidwell. Kept going. Gower. Lockyer. They miss out Crocker. Ball goes to ground. And we've got a knock on.
Well, we hung on there just by threads. The second man play around the back. It's the most used one in rugby league. Because you send a player in front to hold the player up, and they had 3-on-1 out there. Minicello just gets one paw to it and can't do much with it. Leslie Vainikolo cleaning up the straps, but that would have been crucial. After bombing one down the other end, Australia do the same at this end.
Less than 2 minutes away from the split. Hampstead has signalled time off. You see Torpy getting some refreshments. He was the star of that famous win at North Harbour last season. Man of the match in that 30 points to 16 victory. But of course has struggled somewhat in the opening weeks of the 2004 Premiership. Line breaks favouring the Aussies, the offloads favouring the Kiwis. The ANZAC test at a stalemate in the run-up to the break. Bungana only makes about 2 metres from dummy half. Nothing flash from the Kiwis. Latu, 3 metres short of halfway. Bungana with the dummy and the kick for touch. Just chewing up the clock.
Chewing up the clock. No need to switch off here. A full set of 6 come in their way, courtesy of 1 minute on the clock. In New Zealand, well, they were looking forward to the break. Some of these guys have had to go the distance in the forward pack, and Daniel Anderson knows it. He'll be telling them to switch on. No good playing for 39 minutes and being 10-all and letting one in the last minute of the first half. Important set.
Gower working the scrum. Would be pleased to be doing that tonight, getting the nod, displacing the incumbent Kangaroo half. Brett Kamali. It's a real test of strength for the Aussie selectors. A tough call it was, but Gower certainly deserving his spot. Australia now a couple of metres short of halfway. Seconds away from the half-time siren at Energy Australia in Newcastle. Healthy crowd, almost a capacity crowd. And Badiris running away from dummy half. Finds Gower in support. Flick pass on the inside. Play on's the call. Hampstead says it went backwards. Timmins goes to ground. The last has been signalled. Maybe the field goal is on the cards. Lockyer says that's what we'll do. Has it got the legs? Has it what? Over the crossbar. We'll take 1 point. And for the first time in the ANZAC test, the Kangaroos take the lead. What a finish to the opening 40 in Newcastle. And the man with the Midas touch getting the 1-pointer. Sweetly struck, sweetly enough, and at the break 2 tries apiece, but the boot of Lockyer proving the difference. Here's Daniel Anderson down on the sideline.
Gutsy performance so far. You know, we're down a couple of players and we've used probably a few more subs, but at the moment we're competing and we're doing okay.
Shame Clinton Torby couldn't find support play on that break.
I think everyone saw my reaction. Wear the heart on the sleeve every now and again.
I can't blame you for that. Thanks for your time, Daniel.
Our thanks to Daniel Anderson. Our pictures courtesy, of course, of the 9 Network. And after a week of high drama for New Zealand Rugby League, the Kiwis competing hard. At the break, it's the Kangaroos 11 points to 10.
Gone hamstring.
Well, that is a body blow for the Australians, and it will be interesting to see what happens. We thank you, Stephen, for that report. Our thanks also to Chris Johns. And Stephen is busy on the sideline tonight. He is with the would-be Kiwi skipper.
Well, Ruben, that's a pretty good first half for the Kiwis, mate.
Oh, for sure, you know, we completed our sets and, you know, we stuck it to them, mate.
Now, the good word is Nathan and Robbie probably back for the second 40.
Oh, for sure, you know, we're wearing the black and white jersey, you know, it's 40 minutes to go in the next test now until October, so boys are pumped.
What was the key word from the coach?
Same one, mate, Kiwi.
All right, mate, thanks for your time. Good luck for the second 40.
Thanks, Steve.
Well, he'll become an honorary Kiwi if they can pull off a big upset here tonight. At the moment, the Kiwis going backwards.
Going backwards is a tidy take there for Nigel Vagana with a pretty sloppy ball. And you're right, they've shifted around in the back line here. Brent Tate is coming out and playing on this right-hand wing. And Sean Berrigan has gone into left centre for the Kangaroos. And he'll partner up with De Vere on that other side on the wing.
Just picking up on that honorary Kiwi status for Coach Daniel Anderson. He has found or established some Kiwi connections. He does have mouldy ties.
Yes, I think we might have touched on that some time ago when he was turning that ship around, the SS Warrior. And I'm sure he'll be looking to do that once more after this game has been completed. At the moment, his job is on test match football, and this is the count. His name, Minicello.
And both fullbacks have adopted a much more conservative, risk-free approach. Both of them opting to stop bouncing balls with their feet. Nigel Vagana first and then Minicello second.
Michael De Vere plays it back. The Aussies almost up to halfway. Sean Berrigan, his maiden test match, playing the football back to Badiris. Here's Lockyer. Here's an overlap. Tate, and it comes across to Gidley. He spins out of the tackle, and they almost show him the sideline.
And what a play if they were able to bound them over.
Gower. Bailey. Good grassing tackle it was. Nullavow, the man doing the job. They're marshalling troops, the Kangaroos. Lockyer with the kick on the last, and Bungana, safety first football at the back.
Worrying signs is Lockyer creating some magic once again on the left-hand side of his left-hand, well, it's not his left-hand boot, I suppose you'd call it. He's got players in action. This is where it comes out the right-hand side, and they go around the back, well taken by Tate, and they'll try and push Matt Gidley, who steps off his right foot infield into touch, and then they go right to the other side of the field using the full width. Creates a confusion, and Nigel Vagana.
And that's what's so attractive about this Kangaroo football side, the ability to be able to adjust their point of attack so quick, and the ability to use the width of the football field as well. But the likes of Berrigan now on the football field, he's one player that does certainly bring a huge amount of concern. A player that more often than not, he's aggressive. He's aggressive that he stays alive, he competes, he steals, he hunts for every metre. Webke hits it up, and he's met there by Tavitalatu.
But he got rid of the ball. Here's Gower. Webke really coming up trumps for the Kangaroos. And here come the Aussies. Bailey right in front of the sticks. The Kiwis on their own goal line. Badiris. Gower. Cut out ball. Lockyer. Here's trouble. They shut him down. They come from everywhere.
He's been good tonight, Fatuera in defence, and needed to be too. The tackle count starting to get on top of the Kiwis. And here are some more of them.
Gower, Crocker goes to ground, 5 metres out from the sticks. Here comes the last. Gower, little kick in behind the line, ball bouncing around, and Torpy's got the pull. Torpy from long range, he's got support. Here comes Bainakolo, and the volcano has been put away. Brent Tate, take a bow. What a tackle, what a play on the big man.
Great play there by Tate, but there was a sense of uncertainty amongst the two Kiwi players. Torpy first and then Leslie Bainakolo. Rather than pinning their ears back and taking them on, turning it into a foot race. Torpy was first. He looked for Leslie quick, and perhaps that was a better sign than what we saw in the first. But Leslie unsure whether or not he had the mettle. But Tate, stunning, outstanding.
First of all, Torpy, Clinton, well, he would have backed him last year to run that. He's a speedster, and he's showing it. We saw him, he couldn't run down one of the Newcastle players, and Abraham, a couple of weeks ago, which was a bit of a surprise. Didn't quite have the legs there as well. When he handed over to Leslie getting too close to the sideline. Tate's a strong defender up top.
But in all fairness, with Torpy chasing Abraham, he did come from the opposite side of the football field.
I'm sure Brent Tate is still sucking in the big ones. 5 minutes into the second half, Badiris finds a runner. His name is Webke. And again, another offload. Here's Hindmarsh. Technically tonight, his test debut. He has played in the green and gold previously. Gower misses out. Bailey comes to Lockyer. Again, the Kangaroos looking sharp. But on the end of it, a misdirected pass.
Everybody in the action here for Australia. Just a misdirected pass on the end of it from Minicello. Lockyer finds his man. This is never a fine game. He's sparking everything for them. And this ball, well, would have gone straight past the touchy as well. Ended up in the front row.
There's some spooky passages of play if you're a Kiwi supporter. Some ominous signs coming up. But when you look at the error count, we had Chris Johns talking at the half-time split that playing with 60-odd% is not enough to win a game, and more particular, a test game.
The tackle count now 170 for the Kiwis, just 100 for Australia.
Encouraging sign now for the Kiwis. Both Nathan Callis and Tony Pulatu are ready to get their boarding passes.
And the Kiwis keeping the ball alive. And Pulatu, as Stephen says, can't wait to get back into it. So too that man, the skipper, Nathan Callis. Kidwell with the offload. Kearney, they spread it. Balmawina. Really poor ball security there on that occasion, and he pays the price.
Well, you're doing it tough when you're turning it over. You're trying desperately to get out of your half.
Bailey, taken by Lulawai. Crocker on the 30-metre line. Gower finds Timmins. Played 5'8" for the Kangaroos last season. Gower again at first receiver. A double cutout pass. Crocker finding a runner. Going to ground is Berrigan, the new boy. 10 metres out. Lockyer, the playmaker, puts it on the toe. Bainakolo's getting across. Luckily for him and the Kiwis, it goes dead and goal.
Big play that one, going over the line. Stephen, no sign of Robbie Paul warming up down there. I believe we need him right now.
No sign at all, mate, but Jerry Susu has just leapt off the bench and started warming up as well, so maybe we need a few more big men in there. Speak of the devil, Robbie Paul's just got off and started to warm up.
And just saw a nice touch with Joe Nullarbale leaving the football field as he walked past the Australian bench. A little wink to his Penrith teammate, Trent Waterhouse. Bring it on, and they're all, right now, it's more than a test match. It's the honour for the bragging rights come Monday at training.
Yes, and plenty of the Penrith boys, of course, backing up in Brisbane in the club game at Suncorp this weekend. Luluwai, and big body contact, but they keep the ball alive. And coming up quickly, the Kangaroos, as Fatuira gets smothered, but he gets a penalty.
Sonny Bill, big play. That offload did not deserve to come out the back door. He was met with big power, big collision, and still found some space.
I'm with you, Peter. Phenomenal for a young man. Take the contact like that and still keep the ball alive. Great stuff.
Nathan Kalis attracting 3 defenders. 13 metres out. Luluwai back on the inside. Ball goes to ground. And for the time being, the pressure off the Kangaroos.
Yeah, this is what we talk about in terms of opportunities. Daniel Anderson feels the pain again. 1 minute, a big play, and then all the good work undone.
Sonny Bill, yeah, just having a quick peek before he got it. Was going to run into some contact. That wouldn't have worried him. But that's okay. We're chancing our arm. We're starting to play some football. Now we've got some inside balls going as well. Whereas in the past, we've been looking at the ball on the outside once we've gone past the line. If we can get some plays on the inside as well, we're a lot better for it.
And Penrith troops about to take the field, and Clinton and Waterhouse fresh and ready for more.
Both players maturing considerably thanks to the Kangaroo Tour of the UK and France last season, as we see an offload from Hindmarsh. He finds Michael De Vere. Crocker, the utility forward from the Roosters. Half an hour to go in the Bundy Rum ANZAC Test match. A 1-point ball game. So much for the one side of the fair that was predicted by so many experts.
And that interchange bench also crucial, with the Kiwis having done 7. 44% possession. That's what they're playing with, so that's how much defensive work this football side is having to pull off at the moment. Will they have enough gas in the tank to run home with the last 30? 5 on the bench.
Melly goes to ground. We haven't seen too much of Francis tonight. Here's Falmawina. That's a very good carry.
And that's exactly what's needed right now. Just one up, get some play the balls going, just get them in good field position and look to apply pressure down the other end of the footy field. Enough of playing in this half.
Nothing flash from the Kiwis, but most effective. Hampstead has the arm stretched. Luluwai with the kick. Michael De Vere turns around. Minicello is back there. Plenty of black and white jumpers leading the chase to Vita Latu.
Nice set. Nice game too to Vita Latu. Having a great game out there. Tidy as his work. Hard in the chase and making plenty of tackles.
And having to play a lot more game time than he's perhaps normally accustomed to. You can do it when you have to.
Berrigan plays it back. Waterhouse, part of the Panther connection in the green and gold. 5 short of halfway. Speaking of Panthers, Clinton was calling for it, but they go to Lockyer. Gidley and the overlap. Tate, he's got pace. Torby comes across. See you later, Clinton. Brent Tate scores in the corner, and the Kangaroos extend their lead. A family celebration for Price and Tate. 12 minutes into the second half. It's the Aussies by 5.
And this is why Darren Lockyer can be one of the great number 6s. Have a look. They cut out the run and give the ball straight to him. He sums it up. He sees Leslie Vainikolo is not in the defensive line. He's back. He's about 5-6 metres back, and he takes full advantage of it. Creates a 2-on-1. Goes up too late, Leslie, and sends Tate away down the wing. Remember, they've restructured this back line here, and Tate, well, Torpy couldn't get to him with a pretty ordinary attempt, really. He had full flight. And Nigel Vagana, well, second time he's been caught, showing the play of the sideline.
And that's a risk you take when you opt to drop back early in the tackle, or certainly when the play's coming. When you're too far back, you're caught in no man's land. They came this play only moments before. It was an ordinary pass. It went straight into touch, but this time it certainly found a home in the hands of Brent Tate.
He would have enjoyed that. So to his family and his brother-in-law, Stephen Price, who was among the first on the scene to congratulate him. Michael De Vere from way out has sprayed it. So still a converted try in this one. Tate's try unconverted. It's the Aussies at 15-10.
Pretty simple, isn't it, Peter? Through the hands, Lockyer with a great ball. Tate, well, serious injury last year, in full flight. Always been a good runner with the ball and always had good upper body strength. That needed to be a low tackle. No need to go high there. The sideline, the momentum of the tackle and the contact would have slid him out and would have been a try saver. And I believe that's probably what Nigel thought. He was covering the inside pass.
Well, disappointed there because we had the likes of Leslie Vinacol here drop back, anticipating a kick. Your defensive line should have adjusted to accommodate it.
Look out! Clinton with plenty of gusto as he brings it back upfield. And they get the penalty.
You have made a second movement to go around the head. Cut it out.
Stephen Kearney, the man at fault. Here's the replay.
Well, he's round the head, and you're asking a question. Very important stage of the game. I know every minute of Test match is important.
That's a strong tackle.
Yes.
Australia get dominance here and score again. It's a long way back.
Peter's right.
New Zealand, they've got to hold him to the tackle, and I agree, Peter, dominant tackle.
And a grapple tackle. Big body contact at Energy Australia. Still plenty of clock left in this one. Badiris finds a runner, Berrigan.
But the worst thing you've got on your head right now is that of the clock, as again they go over short side.
Hindmarsh swatting them away like flies, legs pumping like pistons, and they come and shut him down, but only just.
Nothing is more certain when you spend so much of the game tackling, it will take its toll.
Lockyer under pressure. Minicello, what will he do? He goes to ground. Still an opportunity here for the Aussies. Fifth and final coming up for the home side. Crocker, the acting half, Gower into the in-goal. Bungana makes a meal of it, and Lockyer gets a gift. His first Test match on Aussie soil as captain, and it is too easy for the Kangaroo skipper.
Well, difficult to say anything at all. You get to the end of a set of 6. And Australia, Hindmarsh put a dent in them down the left-hand side. And then charges towards the middle, just goes straight for the white line fever. Just about gets there. They'll hold him up, and only just. And then, after 2 plays later, the ball comes across, and this time it's Gower. And, well, he's offside for sure. Why not go to the third umpire?
Uh-oh. We'll hear more about this.
He's in the box next door. Peter, go and check him out.
Well, Tim Mander has been basically having a cup of tea. I spoke to him during the break. He has had little work to do. Perhaps they should have called on his services in that instance. I'm a bit gobsmacked from that, the fact that they didn't go upstairs. I can't believe it, but the numbers are in the frame. The Phillips cheer girls, well, they've got plenty of reason to celebrate. It's the Aussies by 11.
Disappointing, 1, to see a try scored like that, and then disappointing 2 in a Test match to see it was the wrong decision, not even gone there. Peter, you can speak now, mate. Let the words flow.
Just disappointed. Disappointed when you work so hard, you hold them out for 5, you're entitled then to be given the luxury of being able to come out there and on the last play to score, come up with a 4-pointer. But so often people criticise referees when they opt to go for the third umpire as opposed to making a call when you're Johnny on the spot. But if you've got it, use it.
Well, we won't harp on it, we'll let it go, but possibly in his mind, the mistake of Vagana overrode any inkling for him to go as he's lost that. Well, he got one right there. The mistake of Vagana overrode his thoughts of checking all his avenues before awarding the try.
Clinton bringing the ball back upfield, running into the shoulder, it was, of David Kidwell, who's really having a night out on his birthday.
So important now that the Kiwis use this opportunity and turn it into points.
Let's see what they've got. Bungana looking to make up for that mistake at the back.
Staying in touch is about scoring next.
Balmawina, nothing fancy on this occasion. They're 10 metres out from the Kangaroo line. A delayed play the ball it was. Luluwai back for Pulatua. Latu, Luluwai, and now Kidwell. They're calling for troops on the short side, the Aussies. That's where the Kiwis go. Luluwai with the kick, and well, they appeal for the knock on, the New Zealanders. Anderson remaining calm. The Aussies have it.
Was there a knock-on in there? A little kick by Luluai. Played it with the foot, then played it with the ball. No, I think he's held that. Slow motion might have told you. Might have been a little knock-on in there, but that's fair.
The completion stats favouring the Aussies. And the New Zealanders still getting through plenty of tackling.
And that's a telling stat that's certainly going to take its toll. We're starting to see some signs now.
Kidwell coming up out of the line nice and quick, putting pressure on Lockyer. Bungana this time catches the footy on the full, brings it back hard and straight, 10 short of halfway. Torpy from dummy half. 3 tries last time these two sides met. Vainikolo, Big Leslie crossing halfway. Robbie Paul warming up on the sideline as we speak. Luluai. And the defence equal to the task. Latu. Was Hindmarsh offside? No, says the referee. Siu back to Falmawina. Now Pulatua. There's another offload. Bungana puts the head down, ducking under tackles. Now the last coming up. Luluai. Falmawina, little chip over the top. Will he get the bounce? Will he what? But the pass goes astray. Still the last. Vainikolo, what are you doing? And Big Leslie with everything in front of him. And he comes up empty-handed.
Very unorthodox to finish with a set of 6. Sione Falmawina trying a little bit special, little chip over the top and play dividends. And then a couple of little offloads, and Leslie passing the ball to no one at the end of it.
Well, it was so important coming to this second 40 that smarts become the order of the day. It was so crucial that it was understood that the Kangaroos were going to come out of this in the second 40. They were going to be firing. Chris Johns made it quite clear playing with 64% wasn't enough to win a test match. Huge amount of motion on the Kiwi side in the beginning, but they needed to play smart.
And Stephen on the sideline, the world's #1 prop, back into the battle.
Yeah, he's just been getting a bit of stretching here and there, has Shane Webke, but he's ready. He's just been winking and nodding to the whole coaching staff. He just loves this and is relishing it, as we see right there.
Well, he's in his element.
Maybe not.
Well, fortune favours the brave, and he is very much a courageous player. Badiris working the blind side. Gower, Minicello. Good one-on-one tackle, thanks to Falmawina. Now the last coming up. They go to Lockyer. Who else? There's the bomb. Nigel Bungana with a good look at it. Oh, no, not again.
Well, I guess you got to ask the question when you play one game of football.
Well, as we watch this, guys, and well, that's number 2, but Robbie Paul on the sideline, just about to come on. Is it the right time, and is he going to make the difference? That's the big question now.
Well, I hope he does, Stephen. I've got a problem with this. This is not a knock-on. It went backwards from his hands to come off his knee, and then has gone backwards. And, I mean, you can prove me wrong. I know the refs called it and play on, and Nigel Pagana's confidence is shot at this stage. Had a very unhappy match. But still, the rules of the game, you have to propel the ball forward for it to be a knock-on, and that has gone backwards, whether it's come off the hand or the foot.
No argument, DJ.
Well, they stick together, don't they? Another dropout for the Kiwis. So the Aussies.
We're getting quite wild up here, Costa. I want to explain the rules to you as well.
It's a long way down, Darryl. Getting rather hot here in the box. 18 to go. Let's keep our cool. Let's see if the Kiwis can do that as well. A high tackle. That's play on. Lockyer is smashed. Back slam. Centre of the ground.
And he may be back slammed, but Lockyer and Gower, haven't they been impressive tonight? Orchestrating, pushing this football side around the park. Being very selective in their passing game, along with Badiris in the middle. Running when required, passing when needed.
He's now a fixture in this Aussie side. Badiris, he plays it on the last. Gower, kick in behind the line. Falmawina and Nigel Bungana. Hang your head in shame. Nothing is going his way.
The one thing is going his way is the football. They're targeting him right now.
Oh, nice work. What can you do?
He's coming up with the errors. and they're persisting.
Poor Nigel, he's a likeable bloke, but he's not having a good one.
But this guy is Craig Gower, outstanding form. But in Nigel's case, you've got to lock it away. You've got to find something good in this, and you've got to keep going forward. He's got just over 15 minutes as Gower takes it from the acting scrum.
Gower. Has he done it? I think he has. Yes, he has. Craig Gower with a scintillating solo effort from the scrum base. Up they go in Newcastle, and the Aussies are on a roll. They are headed for another win.
He's quick on his feet, took the ball quickly, took it right across, and Sione Fa'amuina gets a hand out. The tackle should have been made there through his teammate Pulatua. In fact, it was Nullavow, and that's easy. That's not test footy, that's just sloppy tackling.
No, but that gives you bragging rights come Monday. We talked about it just in the beginning of the second half. And Gower, well, he'll remind that to Joe Nullavow. But we say it again, certainly been one of the most dominant players on the football park this evening. Him along with Lockyer masterminded so much of their attacking when they got forward power going up the middle, then looking to the flanks. One of the generals had decided which way they're going, whether they're going short, whether they're going long. But he's been in good form so far.
Michael De Vere now looking to add the extras, and that he does. So the job is starting to get so much tougher for the Kiwis, perhaps on the verge of impossible. 15 to go, they trail by 17.
Craig Bellamy, the Melbourne Storm coach. Trainer.
I'd like to be on the other side of the chalk there, but it's not meant to happen.
What did Daniel say to the boys at half time?
Oh, just a match with the Aussies, and bombed 2 tries in the first half, and the second half we've bombed a few options there too. So we just got to hang in.
Now, what's the problem with Robbie Paul? I mean, he got a knock to the head. Is there an ankle problem or something?
I think so, mate, but I think he'll be back and sometime in the game soon.
Thanks for your time, Rubes.
Ruben Wiki speaking with Matthew Johns from the Nine Network. Of course, he was rubbed out by the judiciary during the week for 5 matches, including this one, as we see a mistake from Shane Webke, but the tackling count is really starting to bite the Kiwis where it hurts.
And I think Shane Webke was entitled to come up there a little disappointed.
Guys, just a quick technology update. If you wondered why you couldn't see that try one of the first replays, our host broadcaster, Channel 9, have anchored cameras on the crossbar, just for something a little different.
But if I haven't seen it,
I'm not taking the blame.
Well, Fatuira plays it back, and the Aussies now called on to defend their line. Let's see what the Kiwis have got in the face of great adversity. They're looking to break a drought tonight. 1991 since they last tasted success on Aussie soil. Pulatua, he is put away.
and he's played well tonight as well.
Paul, Bainacolo, the Bradford connection. The only 2 players on the field from the Northern Hemisphere. Now the last coming up. That's a dreadful pass from Robbie Paul, and a comedy of errors allowing the Kangaroos to come up with possession. Maybe he's still dazed.
Yes, perhaps so. He was in there every play the ball that time, waving his arms around, trying to generate something. Robbie Paul doing his best. He's getting a little bit ahead of himself. We see an error popped up right in the right end of the field.
Hindmarsh comes up with the spill, and New Zealand now showing a sense of urgency. The clock is ticking away. 12 to go, 17 the margin. Here's Fatuira. Luluwai sends it out to Paul. Cut out ball. Torpy. Bainacolo can't collect the ball. It is slipping away for Coach Anderson.
An interesting Red Dragon lookalike there in the crowd. But just ran out of space here.
Well, I'm not too sure I agree with you. There was a little bit of space there. If he takes that, it's a nice little break. He's got the heads up past Tate. His hands are letting him down. It wasn't an easy one to take. But plenty of opportunities in this game for the Kiwi side, just not being able to make the most of them.
But I thought Tate did well. He stood off for as long as he could without committing himself. Just having to hang on to the ball and then having to force that pass and unfortunately misdirected going behind Leslie Vanakola.
Just a note on the sideline, maybe a sign of confidence for Coach Wayne Bennett. Danny Badiris benched.
Yes, and you could hear the crowd applauding Danny Badiris coming from the field. A big night it was for the local junior. Comes from just up the Pacific Highway, the town of Taree. I'm sure he had plenty of family and friends in the crowd here tonight. An historic occasion for the city of Newcastle. This ground having just been recently remodelled. You can see the crowd on that eastern side of the ground, which has been refurbished. Melly comes up with a spill. Gower says, I'll take it. And into the corner goes Michael De Vere. The Kangaroos running away with it. It is payback time in Newcastle. The Aussies in control at 31-10, and it all came from that mistake.
Yes, and what can you say? Time to go and get a line read from the fridge, quickly get it down and go to bed, I believe, back in New Zealand. It's just not happening here at the moment. The guys, they're trying hard. They can't get over the top of this tackle count. It's just crawled them, and this time it's Francis Smelly.
Well, the ball was going prior to coming into contact there with Hindmarsh. But recognise, again, the speed of which they respond, they react. A drop ball, an opportunity presents itself, and they make you pay. The Kangaroos spot on. Gow again, right in the thick of it. Shifted wide, De Vere. Try time.
They've tried so hard, the Kiwis, but they've just come in unstuck here with some basic errors. The Kangaroos playing pretty solid football, sweating on the mistakes and plenty of them coming, and turning them all into points.
Michael De Vere, 3 from 5 thus far tonight, as well as that try in the corner. The Kiwis having been held scoreless in the second stanza.
It was understandable. The Kangaroo coach Wayne Bennett made it quite clear that trying to compete and win a game of football with a 60% completion rate just isn't going to get you over the line. The Kiwis have played most of the second half and now fronting up the completion rate, which is sitting around 52 to 73. Possession 38 to 62. It's tough. Danny Badiris, certainly a regular fixture. It wasn't that long ago. This was a player that was struggling with confidence, sought the assistance, the help of a psychologist, and whoa, they do wonders.
And I think he's actually on the sideline, guys, because he might have taken a small knock on one of his legs. So not dragged, not because of confidence, but maybe because of a slight knock.
Wayne Bennett doing a favour for his successor with the Queensland Origin side, Michael Hagan. Of course, with Badiris needed by Newcastle to play Canberra this weekend. Less than 9 to go in the ANZAC Test match of 2004. Waterhouse gets some treatment from the Kiwis. Big year coming up, of course, on the international scene, culminating in the Tri-Nations in the UK. An exciting new concept. The Aussies finishing off with a match against the Americans, can you believe it, in New York at the end of the season. So it's a big year coming up for all nations as Joel Clinton throws himself into the Kiwi line.
And I'm not quite sure whether that game in New York is about expanding international rugby league or rugby league in general, or whether it's about just giving a sense of exotica to those who play the game of rugby league.
Well, there's nothing exotic about that. A mistake and some boos. We've got a Kiwi on the deck. Let's listen in.
Well, Joe Nullarbor hasn't moved. Looked like there was a forward pass in this movement and a knock on to Mender. There was a ball there just gone on to Waterhouse. And yes, copping the knees of his teammate right in the melon. Gets a backhander. Was that ball touched there? They ruled it was. Pass before anyway was for great hit, Sonny Bill Williams. Stands over the top of him. Boy, he looks like Mark Graham, doesn't he?
Well, his body language is what you admire the most. It just, there's an absolute sense of confidence, toughness, and just mental toughness in an individual so young.
Yes, if you're new to rugby league, remember the name, Sonny Bill Williams tonight, one of the youngest ever players to appear in a test match for the Kiwis. That record held by Dennis Williams. No relation, of course, that was way back in 1971, but we'll get to see a lot more of Sonny Bill in the years to come. Lulawai, and there he goes once more. Sonny Bill. 7.5 to go in the ANZAC test. Latu with the offload, straight up the middle goes Kidwell.
I've enjoyed Latu's game since he's been on the football field. Not short of confidence. Backs himself, has a go. Along with this youngster here, young Thomas Lulawai.
Lulawai's kick. And it was a good follow through there. There's a penalty.
You knew that was coming.
There was a suggestion there was a voluntary tackle, and then he was dragged.
A little bit of poker being played on the sideline. Danny Badira's back on.
Michael De Vere watching that ball ever so careful. Is this a voluntary tackle? Well, hello. And then the penalty at the back of it. He's not held. No one's touched him. He's lay on the ground.
They should have just left him there. They would have really tested Sean Hampstead, and that's why Lulawai was blowing up. Here's Clinton. Again, no fear whatsoever.
Bring back Billy.
They work the blind. And the Aussies, again threatening. Paul Fatawira working overtime in defence on the eastern side of Energy Australia. Timmins. Torby takes him.
He's played a good link role tonight, Timmins.
And we've got a turnover here, 20 metres out from the Kiwi goal line. The New Zealanders accept that. And Latu gets on a bit of a jink.
Whenever they've opted to switch their point of attack to come to the right-hand side, invariably it's always involved Sean Timmins.
Vainakolo goes to ground. 5.5 minutes away from the final hooter. And the Kiwis still having a dig. Lulawai. Sonny Bill is put away. Lovely tackle around the bootlaces from Craig Gower. Kidwell and the Melbourne Storm forward puts boot to ball. Mally's coming through, kicks it out.
Francis Melly not had a lot to do in this game, showing a dash of speed down the sideline. David Kidwell puts the ball to foot. You'll see in a minute Kidwell come put it through. Time to chance their arm with only 5 minutes to go. Australia, they'll slow it down, you bet.
Crowd of 20-odd thousand here tonight, loving every minute of this. They've got a soft spot for the Kiwis, it must be said. The likes of Shelford and Sam Stewart, Tony Kemp, Goulding, Schuster, even a Rapati comes to mind. There's been a real Kiwi connection in this town ever since 1988 when the Knights joined the competition.
Well, I looked to Tear tonight to get a reminder as to what they actually referred to the stadium. Used to be the pit or the cauldron. But Tear's reply was, I spent too much time laying the pitch to be bothered with what they named this park. So well done, Tear.
And he wasn't alone to you. Tony Butterfield's name comes to mind. He was certainly doing his bit as well.
And good to catch up with James Goulding tonight as well. Him and Lindsay Proctor. The drive all the way down from the Gold Coast.
And the Kiwis looking to drive themselves back to their own goal line there. There was an anxious moment just for a second there, and they had to hurry. Less than 4 to go, and all of those boys out there are very tired. Vainakolo, Robbie Paul, some adventurous passing not far out from their own goal line. The Volcano tries to bust them. Nullavow and Jason Kalis watching from the bench. Kangaroos, of course, with plenty to prove in this one tonight. It was a shock defeat at North Harbour last October. But they have set the record straight here tonight. You can't argue with that. 31-10, and perhaps the Kangaroos are still not finished.
No, the second half has been exceptional. The ball security has been a lot better. Exactly what Coach Bennett asked for and they've been relentless. Keen to do all the easy work. Oh, brilliant from Lockyer.
Lockyer combining with Berrigan. Barrow's got support. It's the Bronco connection. Tate goes to ground. Minicello wants a quick play of the ball. Comes back the open side. Gedley. Lockyer for a double. Hits the goal post. Is he all right? Oh no. There's a lot of concern here for Darren Lockyer. Forget about the try. Let's check on his health.
Well, he's fine. How good's that padding on that post? He's gone head first straight into it. I was just about to say this man deserves a try as he's gone across the line. And here it is here. Bang. Oh, do you get more of a solid knock? Bundaberg rum, you beauty. But how good's that padding? She's not a pillow. Does he score it there? Tries to manoeuvre the ball on the line. Seems to let go of the ball. Interesting stuff. Bang.
Add to the fact too that Francis Melly is still prone on the ground.
Well, his fellow Queenslander Mal Meninga knows all about crashing into goalposts, and that is just most unfortunate. And let's hope that the Australian captain is okay. The decision from Tim Mander in the negative. But it is still play on, and in the sense that the Aussies have the ball.
Yeah, Darren Lockyer, you've got to play it over here.
And Lockyer has been called up to play the ball as per the rule book.
Wait till I play time back on.
Right in front of the sticks, right in front of the goal line. Just over 2 to go. Craig Gower, little kick into the in goal. And Melly, just for a moment, I thought he coughed it up.
Tidies up well here, Francis Melly. Great kick through from Craig Gower. Just slides down on the ball with his hands and controls it, pushing it backwards. And it's certainly been a second half the Kiwis would rather forget, and they just had to.
The wheels are falling off in Newcastle. And the Kangaroos, they are still hungry. Bailey will play the ball. With a push and shove between Bailey and Williams. Here's Clinton. Clinton for the line. Comes up with a spill, but it was reefed out. Kidwell kicks it away.
Yeah, I'm serious.
90 seconds away from the final hooter, and still the Aussies want more. Badiris tries to trick everybody, including myself. 1 metre out, right under the would-be black dot. Crocker, Gower, Timmins. They spread it. Bailey. He is put away by Sonny Bill Williams. Lockyer finds a runner. And going close to the line is Berrigan. And they struggle to put him on the deck.
Runs a great line off Lockyer as Berrigan, the Bronco teammates. As it's round the back of the play, comes again.
Minicello attracting 3 defenders. 15 out from the goal line. 30-odd seconds to go. Lockyer back on the inside, and Crocker says, thank you very much. What a second half carve-up it has been.
Darren Lockyer is your man of the match by the length of the straight. Have a look at this ball on the inside. Was it forward? There's plenty of players around. No, it was fine. David Kidwell just taken for a little bit of a ride there after having a fine game himself. And Crocker gets the last try of the match and a complete whitewash in the second half.
Michael Crocker, who will feature prominently, you would think, for Queensland in the forthcoming Origin series. Job done for Wayne Bennett as Aussie coach. It is 3 from 3.
Well, the master move, plenty questioned it in the off-season, whether they should shift the world's best fullback to 5'8". He's got a victory here today, right on the back of it.
And Michael De Vere finally gets one to finish off this one. A comprehensive win, a most impressive victory. 7 tries to 2 and a second half shutout for the Kiwis. 37-10, the final score in the ANZAC Test. Well, the Kiwis, they gave their all. It had been a tumultuous week, to say the least, but the Aussies have reigned supreme. Craig Gower was among the Aussies' best. He's with Steve.
Craig, you said you had to repay the selectors' faith. You certainly did that tonight, mate.
Yeah, it was a tough game out there tonight, and thankfully just let them around the park pretty well, and got a meat pie, so it's not too bad.
Were you surprised at the first half?
Yeah, mate, I think we turned over a bit too much ball, but credit to New Zealand, they played some tough footy, and it was a pretty physical game out there.
Everything you thought it was?
Yeah, mate, playing for your country, it's, you can't beat it, and you're always just thankful for the opportunity.
All right, well done, mate. Enjoy the night.
Thanks very much.
He will enjoy it, more so than his Penrith teammate, Joe Nullavow. Let's go downstairs. Peter is with Robbie Paul.
Robbie, two very different games of football from the first half to the second half. It's tough.
Definitely. We made a few inconsistent errors, putting ourselves under pressure. We have ourselves to blame in that second half. We could have done things a little more patient, but that's rugby league.
Going into the break at half-time, obviously full of confidence. You were still well within the game. You were competing.
Oh, definitely. The level of athletic ability that we have in this team is just immeasurable. When we get it right on the night, it's what happened last year in the test against Australia. It's a matter of consistency for us, I think. No matter what team we choose, I think it's always going to be, the boys can carry the ball when they want to.
So there you have it. New Zealand's dry spell on this side of the ditch continues. There was one-way traffic in the second stanza. Minicello, Tahu, Lockyer, Tate, Gower, Devere, Crocker, all scoring tries. While for the Kiwis, Vainikolo and Kidwell getting across the stripe. 37-10, the final score. Welcome back to Energy Australia Stadium. And what a night it has been for the Kangaroos and their captain, Darren Lockyer. A scare with an injury at the death, but what a moment, lifting aloft the Bill Kelly Trophy. Of course, piece of silverware honouring a World War I digger and a former Aussie and Kiwi international. Crowd starting to file out of the ground. Special night, of course, for Newcastle. This game a long time coming, and I'll remember this for a long time to come. Stephen is downstairs with a Panther on the prowl, who is also a very proud Kangaroo.
One of the real enforcers of the Kangaroo pack, Joel Clinton, he's got to back up against the Broncos on Sunday. But Joel, how was that?
Yeah, mate, it was a totally different experience. So I think it's up there with the fastest game I've ever played. So, hopefully I get to play more of it. Just enjoyed every minute of it.
Just briefly, there was a sense the Kangaroos were stunned in that first 40.
Yeah, we always knew the Kiwis were going to come out firing. I mean, they're a great team. You have a look on paper and on the field. They just kept belting us all, that first 15-10 minutes, and it was a bit of a wake-up call for us, and we turned over a bit too much ball and gave away some penalties. But other than that, mate, to their credit, they come out and fired up, and it was just a good game all around.
Mate, go and enjoy the night. You deserve it.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
And our thanks to Joel Clinton. He'll sleep well tonight before saddling up with the Panthers this weekend in Brisbane. Let's go down to Ropo now. He's with a player who has really resurrected his career south of the River Murray.
Well, David, perhaps not the trifecta you were looking for, but a tough game of footy.
Yeah, it definitely was, mate. It was a good game of footy. Just probably our execution let us down at times. If you give them back-to-back sets, an Australian team like that, they're gonna score points on you, and I think that's what they did.
On a personal note, good to be back in the black and white.
Yeah, mate, proud to be back in the black and white, mate. Very, very proud. The trifecta would have been nice, but the boys rallied together, and I think we've got things we can learn from that game, and I'm sure at the end of the year, we'll definitely learn from that game and take some stuff out of it.
Mate, it wasn't too long ago. You're at Warrington, Northern Hemisphere. You're back. You're doing wonders with the Storm, and you're about to crack 100 NRL games.
Yeah, mate. If the body pulls up tomorrow, I can back it up against the Storm.
David, you're a baby. Don't tell me.
Yeah, I'm 22, mate. That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, I'll be good. Looking forward to the Storm tomorrow. So we play the Cowboys up there, down the Storm. So hopefully the body pulls up all right, and we get my 100th game up.
Well, all the best and congratulations.
Can I say a big kia ora to all the whānau out there, and choice. Cheers, mate.
Yes, good on him, David Kidwell, and many happy returns. So there you have it, the Kangaroos reminding the Kiwis just who is number one in Test Rugby League. 37-10, the final score.
So there you have it, the final shakedown, as you might say. Daniel Anderson will be extolling his truths that, well, you were in it for a good 40 minutes of the game, but then that second half, they just got blown off the park.
Well, it's so much easier to get blown off the park when you come up with, I guess, explosions which result in committing errors which allow the opposition, I think, really to build a platform and get some foundation work and go forward. Yeah, unfortunately, I think Robbie Paul hit it on the nail. It was their own undoing which led to the result. But I must say as well, apologies to Dennis Williams. Sonny Bill is, in fact, the cousin of Dennis Williams, so sorry about that, Dennis.
All right, so there you have it here from Energy Australia Stadium in Newcastle. The Kangaroos get back the Trans-Tasman Trophy, but I got to say, it was still a fantastic test match despite the result.
First 40 minutes, probably some of the best footy that we've seen for a long, long time, and particularly when it was against all odds. You know, they lost Kalis, they lost Robbie Paul. Yeah, they came into this game without Ruben Wiki. Many have written them off. Half-time 11-10, well, you couldn't have asked for more. They competed. The back half, I think the clock certainly beat them, took its toll. Possession was bad. You know, completion rate was down there. They were out. They were out and out, and they hung in there, but unfortunately, that's the way footy goes sometimes.
So Australia win the Trans-Tasman Trophy, and the Kiwis have to think about October and the Tri-Nations. But don't forget, another wonderful weekend of the great game of rugby league on Sky Sport, so make sure you're part of it. But tonight belongs to the Kangaroos. Trust to enjoy Test footy live on the only place to watch it, Sky Sport.